Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Joey Galvez, one half of your host of Explain Yourself, and I want to let you guys know about a really cool book from our friend of the show, Eli Shockey. This one is called The Greylock, and it's a story where magic is a commodity. Potions are sold at corner stores. Orcs and dwarves earn a living in cubicles, not on the battlefields. But there are those who resist the house's magic's laws. Branded a criminal and forced to live as a wand for hire, there is a spell slinger they call the Greylock. Check this one out. You guys can pre-order issue 3 right now with code JAN241939, and make sure you guys are heading over to your favorite LCS and letting them know that you want Greylock number 3, and maybe pick up the first 2 issues. You could do that at the Scout web store. So make sure you guys are grabbing the Greylock number 3, JAN241939 at previewsworld.com.
Okay, everybody. I have something really cool to tell you about. If you haven't heard yet about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain here. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one single place. Now, the way that you can do this is you got to download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm, and then you can get started. It's really fun. We just switched over recently here at All Too Real 2, and I'm enjoying it so far. So be sure to check it out and let us know what you think. Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All Too Real 2. My name is Michael E. Collin II, and with me, as always, is my co-host,
Matthew Haas.
How you doing today, Matt?
I'm doing all right.
That's good. So we watched a movie.
Yep, I did.
Yes, taking a break from direct-to-video sequels here. And we decided to venture into the insanity that is the Asylum. See what I did there?
Mm-hmm.
See the insanity?
Yeah, it was like a... It works both ways, so it's
yes,
cool.
Yeah.
We watched Airspeed. Oh, no, sorry.
No. Fast and the Fierce.
Yeah.
The 2017 film. Yep. One of their mockbusters.
No cars whatsoever in the entire movie. Not even in between scenes.
There's hardly any cars. Yeah, I think I saw some cars in the background of things, but yeah.
Even though the cover actually shows a car underneath and then a plane flying above the car, and the car's like right out front and center.
Mm-hmm.
So you're thinking maybe there's some weird chase scene at one point where the car is driving away from the plane or whatever. Nope, nothing like that.
I mean, do you think that they, by the name The Fast and the Fierce, that they were trying to mimic some other, motion picture of some sort or a franchise of some sort? Or
no, it was just coincidence.
Oh, okay.
No, because basically the plot of Speed, but in the air.
Yes.
And it was called Airspeed at first.
Yes.
And then they changed it. So
because they realized that they could cash in on the Fate of the Furious, which came out right around the same time as this movie.
I mean, Speed is like over 20 years old, so it'd be one thing if they did that right in like 1994, whenever it came out, and called it Airspeed or whatever. But
yeah, and people might think it's a sequel or something.
Now that's not really a good thing to kind of.
I mean, I will say this movie is probably actually better than Speed 2.
Yeah.
Which we should cover for this, even though it's not a direct-to-video
It's
sequel.
been a long time since I don't even remember the plot of that one.
Speed 2, they're on a cruise ship.
Okay.
Just think about the title of this.
Speed, okay.
And then cruise.
Yeah. Oh, we get it? Because Tom...
No.
Not Tom Cruise,
no.
but...
I mean, basically, a cruise ship kind of goes pretty slow.
Right. Get it?
Yeah.
But wasn't Tom Cruise in the first one, or is that someone else?
No,
it was Keanu Reeves. That's right,
Keanu, and he wasn't in the second one.
Which is a much better person than Tom Cruise anyways. But
oh, yeah. So. Tons better person. You know, he cares about people and doesn't jump on couches. And that I'm aware
don't
of.
jump on couches. That's the worst thing you can do.
Yes. That's the worst thing that Tom Cruise...
Not brainwashing your wife into a cult and then, making it as part of her divorce agreement that she's not even allowed to talk about the
alleged cult.
Sorry, alleged cult. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. We gotta play it safe here. You know, fucking brainwashing stupid little computer things, and measuring your heartbeats or whatever they do. I don't know, but
Thetans.
Satan's more like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just listened to the last two parts of a 5-parter on Behind the Bastards about L. Ron Hubbard. That was fun.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yeah, mediocre science fiction writer L. Ron Hubbard. That's all he'll be remembered for.
Yep.
Anyways, so back to go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, did you know that Keanu Reeves he plays like a bit part in a new Netflix movie?
No,
it's this movie that came out recently. It's a Netflix movie. It's got I think her name was Ali Wong.
Yeah.
And the guy from Fresh Off the Boat, the guy who plays the dad, I think. From Fresh
Randall
Off
Park.
I think it was him.
Yeah.
It's basically like about them, like kind of like they grew up together as kids or whatever. It's kind of like a sort of love story.
Oh, okay.
But he plays like a bit part and it's hilarious.
Actually,
wow. He's only in it for like 5 minutes.
Did you watch it?
I watched most of it.
Okay.
But
I'll have to check that out. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it's on my list of
it's
things.
called Always Be My Maybe.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah. So here's some free advertising for Always Be My Maybe and Speed 2. And
Speed 2.
And Scientology.
Yeah, we're promoting.
Yeah, we're promoting everything here.
Sure.
Yes.
Mountain Dew.
Yep. You know what I suggest? Going on a cruise ship. Watch Always Be My Maybe.
And Speed 2.
And Speed 2 while practicing Scientology.
And drinking Mountain Dew.
Okay. Throwback Mountain Dew with the real sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got real sugar and it's real good.
Yeah.
And it's got a little hillbilly on the cover.
With moonshine.
Yes.
That's not like just really bad. Like,
well, Mountain Dew used to be a term for moonshine.
Oh, okay.
That's where the whole thing came from. And they used to mix this with moonshine so it would cut the alcohol in it and stuff. That's where Mountain Dew originally came from.
Wow. And
then it just became a, soft drink for extreme sports.
Extreme.
Yeah. I'm a skateboarder and a snowboarder, and I drink my Mountain Dew. Real sugar, real good.
Rise and
Mountain
grind,
Dew.
folks. Yeah, okay. Pop-Tarts as well. All right,
I
think we're good.
Okay. Anyway, so we got everything sponsored now.
Yeah.
So give us our money.
Give it to us.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so back to The Fast and the Fierce. The best movie I watched in the last hour.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bar none.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yep.
Within the last hour, which the movie was an hour and 26 minutes.
Yes.
And we had multiple stops in between to talk about stuff. But
we didn't watch any other movies in the last hour.
No.
So this is definitely the best movie I watched tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So, basically the plot here is that when a terrorist plant, when terrorists, not a terrorist plant, because that'd be a great movie, but a terrorist plant, that'd be, I don't know if it would be like a plant, like where they make things, or like a plant, like, it'd be like Audrey 2 from, little shop of horrors ends up becoming a terrorist. That'd be, oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I think we just wrote a movie, Matt.
Terrorist plant.
Yep. Okay, so when terrorists plant a bomb on a commercial flight, the passengers aboard the plane must fight to keep the plane in the air and all the passengers alive. The bomb is rigged to detonate whenever the plane dips below 800 feet. Dun, dun, dun.
Or go above 1,500 feet.
Yes.
I remember that line, too.
Yeah.
Which, it's academic, whatever.
Yeah. So, this movie's pretty useful. It's about as useful as a pogo stick in quicksand.
Yep.
Which is my favorite line in the whole movie. Yes.
Yeah. It's about useful. That guy.
Adrian. Okay, so this movie stars Adrian Paul, who people may know from the Highlander TV series from the 90s or whenever that was, and a couple of the Highlander movies, including the best movie with the name Endgame. Highlander Endgame. Yep.
That's way better than the one that came out like a month ago, whatever.
Or whenever this airs. Could have been, 5 years ago by the time this airs. Who knows?
Well,
no, I don't think so.
Hope not.
Because we're talking about Always Be My Baby, which...
It might be off Netflix by then.
So who knows?
Sorry, guys.
I still love you, Ali Wong and Randall Park and Keanu Reeves.
I think it was. I'm not sure, but
I'm pretty sure it was Randall
Okay.
Park. Yeah. Dominic Swain is also in this movie, who you may know from Lolita with Jeremy Irons, and Face Off, where she plays John Travolta. Speaking of Scientology, his daughter. Yeah, this movie we need to cover someday is Battlefield Earth.
Oh God, man.
Yeah,
I saw that when it came out. Wow.
Did you see it in theaters?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
No, I didn't see it in theaters. No, I saw it when it came out.
I don't even know if I've ever watched it all the way through, so I'm not sure. I just remember there being really bad, like tilted angles and shit, like camera-wise, like cantered angles in the whole freaking movie.
Yeah, I just remember John Travolta's messed up makeup and shit.
Yeah.
And all that. Oh man.
Oh, boy. Yeah, it's supposed to be part of a big epic of films. I don't know why we're talking so much about Scientology here.
Well,
but,
that movie was supposed to be based off of like a story of Scientology.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be like this huge books that he ended up writing, and the second book in this series or something, the second or third, is actually longer than all three of the Lord of the Rings books put together.
Okay.
So he was prolific, I'll give him that. He is
could just string a bunch of words
Yeah, I know.
together.
He's the most published author in history.
Hey, great.
Yeah. So speaking of authors, the writer of this movie was Jacob Cooney, Bill Handstock. They wrote the story. So they watched Speed and decided, hey, let's put it on a plane. Anyways,
Yeah.
and the screenplay was by Scotty Mullen, not Cullen, just like making sure that I'm not related to him. Anyways, but yeah, the Asylum, in case you don't know, and this is your first time with any kind of encounter with the Asylum, and you watched this movie to listen to our wonderful podcast here, are known for their Mockbuster films. And Mockbusters are movies that are made to cash in on blockbuster films. So, they're known for Transmorphers and Snakes on a Train, The Day the Earth Stopped, speaking of Keanu Reeves. And
What was another one they did recently? Oh, Avengers
Grimm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with like superheroes at all.
No. Well, they kind of turned the fairy tale characters into superheroes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they also had one that was kind of a sequel to that too, called Sinister Squad, which was a takeoff on Suicide Squad, and the cover looks exactly like the Suicide Squad cover and everything.
And they got the new Aladdin one. What was it called? The Legends of Aladdin?
Or
something like
Adventures of Aladdin.
Sorry, Adventures,
yeah, that came out around the same time as the Will Smith Aladdin movie.
Yeah.
Guy Ritchie directed movie. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, we've got Dominic Swain here as a bad girl. The movie starts out, we've got this guy named Benji, played by...
Not the dog.
No.
Sorry.
That'd have made the movie more
It would have
interesting.
been.
If this computer genius was a dog.
Just a dog sitting there at a coffee bar.
Who was married to a really attractive woman.
Yes.
Anyways.
That would be a really bizarre movie.
And then somehow we work in the terrorist plant.
Yeah, somehow. Yeah, the terrorist plant somehow gets worked.
I think this would have been a more enjoyable
would've
movie
been.
than the one we watched.
Benji, the computer hacker, whiz or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's got a terrorist plant. And somehow that gets stolen and he gets put on the plane and starts terrorizing everyone.
So he's just walking in with a fern under the plane.
Yes.
And it's a terrorist.
Yeah.
This is just my plant. It's not,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Benji, who's a computer genius sort of guy, he's played by Zach Steffey, or Steffey, Steffey. He's in like a coffee shop, gets approached by Dominic Swain's Juliet, who is basically a terrorist, tries to convince him that she first has to borrow his phone. And then she basically steals his phone and uses this as a ploy to then tell him that, they need this Genesis 7 code, which that he helped create. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, his wife, who is currently on a plane, is going to die. He had just had a fight with his wife on a phone call over their laptop or something from the plane.
Yeah. So I'm still trying to wrap my head around some of the weird stuff. So how did they know that he didn't go on the plane with, like, if they were banking on him going with his wife and not having a fight, then the whole thing would have been...
Well, I think they said at one point in the movie that their plan originally was to approach them at the hotel.
Okay.
And on their honeymoon.
Okay.
But he stayed back to work on some shit.
Yeah.
And
he missed his own honeymoon.
Yeah, missed his own honeymoon, which I don't get.
For 3 whole fucking days.
Yeah.
Whatever. Which is also interesting that he just gives up his phone. Like, I never met anyone who's like, just to a stranger, like, yeah, sure, you can just use my phone. I'm like, what?
No,
like,
yeah.
I never ever heard of that, but...
I mean, I have done that.
But you're a rarity, though.
Yeah.
You're like a shooting star. You're a rare gem.
I'm a unicorn.
Of divine mystery. Did I just quote Baha'i scripture? Anyway, sorry.
You might have.
I was like, wait... I'm in a weird mood.
And I'm calling myself a unicorn.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like divine gem better.
If you want to learn more about the Baha'i faith, go to www.baha'i.org. We're just promoting everything.
Yeah, let's just promote everything.
Today.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
BAHAI.org.
Yes,
So,
and that's O-R-G.
Yeah, O-R-G. Not like org, like...
I don't know how else you'd spell org.
Whatever, so...
But yeah, anyways,
yeah.
So, speaking of orgs, I bet you these people in the movie have organs. And I don't know what the fuck that was.
Yeah,
man.
they do.
That was a really weird transition,
They have
wasn't it?
organs.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, some of them have organs. Not all of them anymore.
Yeah. They're just playing them. There's a plant playing an organ.
Oh my god.
I'm writing this movie, man. We're going to make this movie.
The terrorist plant.
Yes, that'll be the name of the movie.
Get your TP... No, that's the dumb thing. I was trying to think of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We'll think about it later.
Yeah.
We got to focus on...
Get it, you can kill the plant eventually with like Roundup or something. I don't know what the...
Right. We need to focus.
So
we need to focus.
Focus on this great movie.
Yes.
Benji's wife Donna, played by Mimi Davila, Davila. Is that how you pronounce that, you think?
I'm not sure.
Davila. Anyways, all I know is she was probably one of the most attractive people in this film, at least. And yeah, she's on the plane. What happens next, Matt?
They have that argument over the phone, and then she's like kind of pissed off, and then this woman is having like a issue because of turbulence, and then so she offers to take her place, so she doesn't have to sit like next to the window or whatever.
Yeah.
So then she goes to sit back there, and then she's sitting across the aisle from this guy who's then like, hey, do you have my $20 or whatever? And then it turns out that they had met the night before because I guess, she was, pissed off about her husband again. Her husband just got married to, didn't show up for their honeymoon. So she got drunk and was playing blackjack and I guess was causing a ruckus. I don't know. So then he I guess bailed her out or did something. I don't know.
And that guy was named Kurt, played by Jason Tobias.
That's right. Not Tobias as in like Arrested Development, not that Tobias.
No.
But he did go on an airplane once and went to India, but that's a different story. Tobias Funke, yeah. Sorry. We're all over the place today.
Arrested Development now on Netflix.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, give us our money.
Yes.
Somebody pay us.
Please.
No, just stop.
So they kind of start chatting or whatever. And, they kind of hint at, like, maybe, they might become an item because Mr. Benji, not the dog, is off doing his thing, trying to give this woman the stupid fucking Genesis 7 code, which, I don't know what Genesis 1 through 6 was like, but apparently 7 was the big one, so...
Yeah, and if in the wrong hands, it can destroy the world.
Yeah. So let's make it, because it could never get into the wrong hands.
And I just find it funny that the word Genesis basically means to create.
Yeah.
Or the origination of something, but yet this in the wrong hands can destroy something. So it's the opposite of what it is.
Well, yeah, but also the story of Noah is in the book of Genesis.
Yes.
And that was a story about literally destroying the world
to
recreate.
And I just wonder if it's called Genesis 7 because it took God 7 days to create the earth.
I don't think they were going for any kind of...
I just wondered if they were thinking that or not.
I mean, I'm not sure if Benji was like a religious... He didn't really seem like he was like a hardcore religious dude. He was like, yeah, I'm going to do my Christian hacking or... God, that's like the worst thing ever. The Christian Hackers Organization.
Christian hacking is going to be part of the movie Terrorist Plant.
Yes, it's a group of Christian hackers who hack... Mm-hmm. But they don't cuss and they pray afterwards.
Yes.
So, it's not like your normal hacky movie where there's lots of cussing and there's lots of like drinking.
And then they watch Fox News.
Probably. Statistically, yes, but
yes. or the 700 Club.
Yes.
Anyways, the
apologies to all of you
yes. Christians,
all of your moderate Christians out there.
Yes,
the good ones.
Yes, we love you.
The good ones who stand up to the bad guys.
Yes,
I'm kind of doing a play on words here. How everyone's like Muslims got to speak out against the terrorists.
Yes,
so I'm doing it now to get it to moderate Christians.
Yes.
Oh, the good ones. It's okay. I made my point. I'm now being stupid and beating it.
So we'll get back more into this plot. Do you want to take a break here now, Matt?
Yeah.
It's Yeah, we're like 20 minutes into the show already, so we'll be right back. Hi, folks. This is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast that you're listening to right now, along with
manager Matthew Haas.
You got promoted?
Yes.
Damn it. Okay, anyways, folks, do you like the show Superstore? I don't know. I asked the folks and nobody's answering me.
Because they're not here.
Oh,
but we love
damn it. Yeah, we love it, though. Okay, folks, if you like it as much as we do, you're really going to like the Super Story podcast, which is a podcast where Matthew and I go episode by episode and give our little opinions and thoughts on it. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we don't. Just depends on how we're feeling.
Yeah.
And, so if you like this podcast and like our little crazy banter,
then you should definitely check this out. Or I might get sad. And when I get sad, it gets pretty sad.
Yeah,
so
I can't deal with him when he's sad.
No one can really. So
yeah. So check out Super Story Podcast right here where you get this podcast, Super Story Podcast.
Magus Elgar's apprentice, Udo Malaki, comes from a family of dangerous, exciting casters.
Hi, I'm Udo Malaki, and I do magic.
Even if his ambitions only go as far as staying alive.
You know, I was really hoping you were going to say something a bit more positive.
Not exactly an ideal Magus. You can hear Udo Malaki and his exciting adventures in the upcoming radio comedy, Magus Elgar.
Visit MagusElgar.com to download your copy today.
And we are back.
All right.
Those were some great ads.
Yeah. They were good.
Yes.
I don't know what they were, but they were good.
Me either, but they were great. I liked that one. Who knows? I mean, maybe in the future they'll put an ad in there for the 700 Club.
God. I hope not.
Now on Freeform. Anyways, give us money. Anyways,
Oh, man.
So basically, there's this plane. I mean, if you've seen Speed, you know the plot. And
It's basically Speed. So we don't even really have to tell you much, but
Yeah,
we
we
will tell you
will.
something.
yeah. So what happens next here, Matt?
Okay, so she starts getting kind of chummy with this dude, and there's kind of like there's friction between the two pilots, the co-pilot and the regular pilot. Now the main pilot he's of Middle Eastern descent,
Yes.
and that becomes the thing too because the people at the people who actually do the air traffic or whatever. She made some point like the pilot's Middle Eastern or something like that.
That's Captain Khalib, played by Moose Ali Khan, is the actor's name.
Yeah. So and then the guy who's in charge of the security, the Homeland Security, whatever. He's like, well, what if he is Middle Eastern? Does that matter? Type of thing. And she's like, oh, I don't know, blah blah blah, or whatever type of thing.
Yeah.
So he's kind of the anti-prejudice dude that's in charge of
Yeah,
the
and
security stuff or whatever.
And he's actually played pretty well by Adrian Paul. Like I said, of Highlander. His name's Agent Coleman.
Mhm.
Yes. So.
Yeah, so then they he's trying to figure out, I guess, the situation, because at first it's just that they're not landing for whatever reason. They don't really know why. And then the flight attendant, I forgot her name.
Oh, the flight attendant was named Alexis.
That's right, Alexis. She's sitting down finally after so here's a funny thing. So she during the beginning of the movie where they're actually on the plane, every single person is standing up on the plane when they're still in mid-flight. And she's telling each person individually to please take their seats. After she does that and they take their seats, she goes over to the phone and she goes, everybody please take your seats. That scene just did not happen of her for the past 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Of telling.
Usually if you tell everybody individually to do something, you don't have to then make an announcement to do it.
Yeah.
And
then, but every single person that was standing up, every single person on the flight was standing up.
So we have intercoms at my work, where we can speak on the loudspeaker in the store. I work in a retail place. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking that the next time I want to find a manager, if they're standing near me and I'm looking for them, I'm then just get on the speaker after I see them and say, hey, so-and-so, I need your help. I'll get on there and I'll be like, hey, so-and-so, I need you in electronics or whatever,
Very passive-aggressive.
Yes.
I just told you, but now I'm going to get on the...
So everybody knows.
Everyone knows that I asked you 2 seconds ago.
So, and Alexis, by the way, is played by Janica Olin is her name, is the actress's name, and she's a Swedish-born actress. So...
Okay, so she sits down with another steward, and they're talking or whatever, and she hears this beeping sound. And at first she thinks it's oh, does nobody ever follow the rules or whatever? So she thinks it's people are still on their electronics or whatever. Then she's searching for the beeping sound. Then she ends up tracking it to this hidden little compartment or whatever. And then it's got
it was like a cart from, I think it was the food cart actually.
Yeah, so she finds it in there, and then it says a note on the device saying play this for the captain. And then she listens to it. And this is your favorite scene with the whole close up thing. It just goes on and on.
Yeah.
You want to explain that?
Yeah, she picks up this thing out of there and she's reading it and she's got this shocked look on her face. And they hold on it, and she keeps looking more shocked. It's like it's like out of a SNL sketch or something. Mm-hmm. It's just really, it's like they held on her way too fucking long.
It was a super...
And they didn't even really show us what the fuck the thing was that she was reacting to, so she's just reacting to it. And then she goes and shows the captain and tells them. So this movie is very big on the telling and not showing. instead of the showing and not telling that you're supposed to follow in filmmaking.
Yeah.
It's like what I learned. First thing I learned in film school.
They probably had a budget, and they're like, "Well, we'll just give a shocked expression." I mean, it'd be one thing if like they actually played the audio of the. Did they do that? I don't even think they even did that. So it's
the only audio during that thing is like her kind of gasping, and then the other steward he says something like "What's wrong?" or something like that at one point while she's doing that, and it's not even like we don't see what she's reacting to.
Plus, too, she was listening to an audio. It's like you could have easily just played the audio, which is weird though because then they didn't play the audio later on when she pointed to the captain. It's like that makes no sense. Whatever. And then,
but I mean, you basically could have cut down those two scenes into one scene if you would have just had her go straight from there and saw the thing, kind of freaked out, and then went right straight to the captain and then played it. So then we all were in on the joke.
But then again, the movie itself was still only an hour and 26 minutes long with all of these other. So
maybe they had to add a minute in here.
It would have been like an hour long if they didn't. So she finds that, and then she goes tells the captain.
Yes, that shocked look was for a half hour long. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious. So she shows the captains, and then like I said, the co-captain is like I guess like a hothead or whatever, and I guess there was some tension between him.
Yeah, and that's JC played by Joe Chambrello.
Cool.
Yeah, they used his initials as his character's name.
Awesome.
I just noticed that.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways.
So JC's a hothead who got stuck as co-captain now, I guess, or co-pilot rather. Mm-hmm. Co-captain, that's not even a real thing, but whatever. And,
no, but it works.
They didn't really explain what it was, but he said something like, I should have just kept my mouth shut or whatever. So he did something. And at one point, the captain makes him like leave for a while, so he goes splashes water on his face. He comes back and he's like, he acts like he's fine now or whatever. Everything's gonna be fine between them. No, I guess not. And then because later on, I forgot how it happened, but later on, the captain, the Middle Eastern guy, he leaves for some reason, and then JC locks him out of...
Yeah, he left to go look on the plane for the bomb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was like searching the plane for the bomb on the directions of Adrian Paul's Agent Coleman character.
Okay.
Yeah, so
he locks... This is kind of later on in the movie, too. He locks him out, and so... it's kind of like a mislead because we're thinking like, oh, is he a terrorist? Is he one of the bad guys here because he locked the captain? Now is he gonna like crash the plane like in Turbulence 3 or some shit like that? When they crashed the plane and stole Kansas or they were going to crash the plane into Stole, Kansas to unleash hell on Earth, but that's a whole other movie.
Yeah, we'll cover that someday.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So turns out it was a mislead that he's not actually a terrorist. He just wanted to lock the captain out for some reason, and and then the stewardess Alexis hits him in the head with like a tray or something like that because she was, for some reason, he wanted her in the cockpit with him.
Yeah,
that's not any kind of like euphemism. Like, I'm not trying to be like
cool there's an FAA regulation that you have to have two people in the cockpit, just in case something goes wrong. But I don't know. Two personnel have to be in the cockpit.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that is a thing, but I don't know what good a stewardess or a flight attendant, as they're called now, I guess. Okay. Be more politically correct.
Well, I called the other guy a steward.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, well, the male version.
I did too. But no, the flight attendant, which can apply to both male and female and transgender and whatever. Right. Anyways, I guess they have to have somebody in the cockpit, but I don't understand what good is a flight attendant. What is she going to do that? Because then they have another flight attendant later. He sits in there and it's just like,
yeah, what good are they doing? Because
or maybe they're just there to make sure the captain doesn't fall asleep or something. I don't know what the fuck they're supposed to do.
They're already breaking rules anyway, so it's weird. Anyway, so yeah, he turns out he's not a bad guy. He's not a terrorist. He just wanted to, I guess, like teach his captain a lesson or whatever. So the captain finds his way back after she hits JC over the head with a tray, and
lets him in.
He lets him in, and he's like, the captain's like, we're going to talk about this later on, but right now we just have to worry about getting everyone home safe and all this kind of stuff. It's a pretty nice guy. So then, like, JC, he feels bad about what he did. So, like, he wants to, like, later on be a hero. And they're running out of fuel because they're constantly just flying around.
And so Adrian Paul's character is on another plane, and they're trying to latch onto that plane. And right before that happens, JC's leaving the cockpit, and he says, "I'll be right back." And if you ever watch Scream or anything, you know the rules that that Jamie Kennedy's character pointed out. If you say "I'll be right back," you're not going to be right back, buddy.
Mm-mm.
No, not usually. They broke it in that movie, but that's different.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you can kind of see what happens next.
He dies.
Yes.
He's trying to hold on to something, and he just gets blown, whisked away or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she survives because she's down there with them, and she warned them that it was too dangerous of a thing to do. And then she's like, "How come nobody ever listens to me? The rules exist for a reason, and I told them that this would happen, and blah blah blah." And stuff like that. But then she breaks a rule right after that because I forgot what happened. Oh yeah, some racist dude from Texas who has like a weird beard with like two stringy fucking things. Like
he's got like braided strings coming down from his beard, like braided hair, not strings, but hair.
Like he thinks he's Scott Ian from Anthrax or some shit like that. But like Scott Ian's cool, so whatever. And
yeah. And
what?
No, he is. Yeah, but I'm just like, I don't know. I didn't go to the Anthrax way, but it does make sense now. Yeah. But yeah, he the racist guy thinks that the captain is the terrorist, obviously, at one point, and he threatens him and stuff, and says, and the captain says, "I'm an American just like you," and he's like, "You're not just like me,"
Yeah, like you might.
He doesn't really talk like that, but I just thought I'd.
No, you might as well just had a freaking
Yeah.
a fucking spittoon here for tobacco to be like, But anyway, so like, and then like he's about to like get aggressive with another flight attendant, and then that guy like just like he tries to throw a punch at him, and he just grabs his punch, and he's like, "Unless you want to tell your beer belly friends how you got your ass kicked by a flight attendant or something like a Hollywood flight attendant or
yeah." A flight attendant from like West LA or something like that is what he said.
Yeah,
I can't remember. Yeah. But after JC dies. They can't get onto the plane because the plane starts flying on its own because there's the chick on the ground that Dominic Swain played, Juliet. She was controlling the plane, I guess, from her iPad or something.
Yeah, there was some thing because she was getting anxious after a while. It's because it turned out that there was more than one terrorist. There was actually, well, we'll get into that. There was another terrorist, and it turned out to be the guy that was that.
Yeah, but that happens later, a little bit later,
Okay,
after CJ falls off the plane.
I mean JC.
JC, I'm sorry. Why do I keep calling him CJ?
I
don't know. That was Pamela Anderson's character on Baywatch. Maybe that's why.
Maybe that's why.
I don't know.
But yeah, that was a little bit after and then because that's when they find out that, terrorist or whatever. I don't know. Type of
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, because this whole time Dominic Swain's been on the ground with Benji, trying to get him to hurry up and put the code on a flash drive.
Yeah, and gonna pay him $10 million
and a plane ticket to Dubai
for like a new identity, basically, because it's gonna be, made it look like he's the one that created or did it, whatever, bombed it.
Yeah,
and it's like my whole thing is like that's another thing too about this movie that's interesting. It's like I can understand like offering someone like $500,000 or $1 million, but it's like you already have all the cards in your favor already.
Yeah.
And you offer someone $10 million, like they already can't refuse you anyway. So it's like you might as well just order
because
like $1 or $5.
Yeah, I mean you're offering them $10 million, but you're also saying, hey, if you don't do this, I'm going to kill your wife. Pretty sure that money kind of doesn't matter at that point.
Exactly.
If you actually give a shit about your wife.
It's like the most generous terrorist I've ever heard in my life. Who's like, hey, we're gonna kill your wife if you don't do this, but if you do it, we're gonna give you $10 million. Like, who does that? Really? Like,
it's like a bonus. It's like a Christmas bonus. You did a good job here, buddy.
It's like a very well-mannered terrorist, like a terrorist plant.
So yeah, well-mannered terrorist.
It's true.
That's the sequel to Terrorist Plant.
Yeah, it's a well-mannered
Or maybe it's the well-mannered terrorist plant. It's a plant that says thank you and please and stuff. Anyways, so yeah, we end up finding out then eventually because of shit that's going down. I can't remember the exact details, but that Kurt, the guy who is actually, he's also at least claims that he's a vet, military vet, and he has like this big duffel bag, this military style duffel bag, and Donna finds the bag and she opens it up because she at one point had found out that she wanted to get a medicine for the dude for his PTSD, and he said no, and the reason that he was trying to keep her away from his bag was that he had a parachute in there, and then some kind of device that was jamming something that was causing something, so they couldn't solve the issue. I don't know. I didn't understand.
They didn't really explain that, so.
But it was some kind of like jamming frequency, jamming shit or whatever.
Yeah.
So we find out then that basically Kurt is a terrorist. The war vet. So they flipped the script on us here. They got the war vet as the terrorist and not the Middle Eastern guy, because they made you want to think that it was the Middle Eastern guy at first.
Well, we don't even know if he is a war vet too. He's
just lying. But what I'm saying is the person who claims to be a war vet, they're flipping the script and making us realize he's the terrorist. So he's about to jump off the plane at one point, and he's gonna take take Donna with him. Yeah. He's got like a little shiv to her that he made to her neck or something. I think he made it. I don't know, because it didn't look like a knife or anything. It looked like a.
No, he had a little Swiss Army knife.
Was it a Swiss Army knife?
They let him carry that on the plane, which is interesting.
Oh, no, they'll let you carry shit on there that you don't even realize it sometimes, because
really?
they're so stupid.
Oh, okay, I know that.
I carried scissors on a plane like 8 different times.
Oh, wow. I thought they were like really strict about that stuff now.
Yeah, my scissors are not big, but they're like these little foldable scissors that I use to cut things with when I need to, and that are on my keychain, and they didn't... I don't know. I've flown to Florida. I've flown to California with them. I've done everything. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I mean, if I open those up, and if you're listening, Homeland Security, next time I buy a plane ticket, you might want to confiscate my knife. You might want to confiscate my scissors here, because.
Why do you want them to do that though?
I don't want them to. I'm just saying that I feel safer if they did that to other people.
I know, but why would you then bring them on if you knew that you were going to be checked for them?
I'm probably not going to bring them, because every other time I brought them, I forgot I had them on my keychain, because they're basically my keychain.
Okay, I understand.
They're connected to my keys, and
okay.
But it's a little foldable, like, bathroom scissors. That's all it is. So but if I open those up, it could be a dangerous weapon. I could probably stab some people with
probably. And he does stab the flight attendant Alexis at one point.
Yeah,
because she was trying to help out Donna.
Yeah,
and then he stabbed her,
and then
then what happens?
Then the best part of the whole movie.
Yeah, well, one of the best parts.
She gets loose from him, and he
Alexis
tackles him.
Her, or
grabs her and pulls her off of him, and he jumps off the plane with the parachute, and then is pulled right into the engine, or the whatever it is. What is that? The big fiery part of the plane?
Yeah, it was, and you got killed.
Yeah.
My question is, did he think that was not going to happen for some weird reason? So if he brought Donna with her,
I don't know if it was because of the way he was pushed off the plane that caused it to go that way. Because if he would have been controlling the jump himself, he might have been able to avoid that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, okay.
Because otherwise, those doors wouldn't be located there, because they are there for that purpose. Right. For jumping off the plane.
Maybe just because he was like shocked at first what would happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, though, these terrorists in this movie are interesting because they're not very good at fighting. It seems like
no,
whatever.
Not at all.
So he gets killed by just getting sucked into the engine, and this is where the movie gets kind of weird for me, because she was supposed to be like meant as leverage, sort of, right?
Yeah, Donna's leverage there, basically.
But then we find out there's a third terrorist in the movie.
Yeah, and
I don't understand why she was trying. Oh.
Yeah, go ahead. No,
Alexis turns out to be the third terrorist.
Because there's a point where everybody's supposed to go to the one side of the plane because they're going to be able to like land the plane and stuff, but it turns out that Alexis wearing a wig the whole time is not really a flight attendant.
Right. So my question is though, what was the point of saving Donna from Kurt if she was supposed to be leverage anyway? What would be the point of not allowing Kurt to take her, because they're all working together? So
I think the whole thing was set up too. I don't think Kurt ever intended to take her. I think that it was all part of the plan.
Oh, okay.
That because I'm just assuming that Alexis and Kurt were in on it together.
Okay.
Unless they weren't, I don't know, but I'm just assuming that part of the plan was that they needed to keep her on the plane because she was the leverage of, basically, they still hadn't gotten the Genesis 7 plans from Benji. So basically they needed her to be able to do that.
So Kurt was like, going rogue and wanted to take all the money for himself or some weird shit, which they didn't explain.
Either that, or he was originally, or when he was discovered, he's just like, oh, I'm going to jump off the plane and I'm going to take her. And then basically, if he was planning on taking her, and if he would have kept her, he could have basically gotten all the money, or he would have had the leverage at least to be able to still use her against Benji.
Right.
I don't know. It wasn't really explained.
It's weird, yeah.
So I don't know, Matt. So then what happens?
Alexis reveals herself. She's wearing a wig the whole time, and then she takes her wig off.
And she's bald. Yeah.
And she starts beating up on Donna. And she demands the code again. And then Donna calls Benji her husband, not the dog. And although it'd be cooler if
Here, Benji! Here, Benji!
It would be cool if she called the dog
no.
Benji.
Oh, okay.
And basically, they have this, big thing where like, I'm sorry that we fought, and we always agreed never to hang up angry on each other, blah blah blah. And she's like, I love you, but you're gonna need to forgive me. And he's like, forgive me for what? And it's like, for not allowing you to save me. And then she hangs up the phone. Then she starts fighting with Alexis. And then she ends up like hitting her in the head with was it a laptop?
Oh yeah.
And then like totally like,
I think it was. Yeah, and it
killed her, I guess.
Yeah, the glass broke off into her head, and it was the greatest CGI shot of glass in somebody's head I've seen in a movie, and probably this past 24 hours.
Yeah, or an hour even.
Yes.
Oh, and also, too, before that, so I forgot, because the reason why Benji was able to call her is because he stabbed, what was her name, in the eye?
Oh, Juliet, Dominic Swain's character.
Yeah, he stabbed Juliet in the eye. Well, I guess supposedly because when she got up, she just had blood around her eye, but you could still see her eye. So I don't know. And then he shot her after she told him that the plane was destined to blow up anyway, no matter what type of thing. Which again, though, why give him the money? It seems like they just have money to throw around. Like, I don't understand.
If they were actually ever planning to give him the money, who knows? Maybe they were going to kill him before they gave him the money, or just saying that they're going to give him the money, because we never got to that point. So who knows?
It's the way she was acting. Her acting style made it seem like she was just like very literal person. I don't know. Anyway, so then he shoots her, and then she falls like 500 feet onto the floor, hits her head on fucking marble floor. I'm gonna have to repeat that for a certain reason. A marble floor.
Yeah, not 500 feet, but like 20 feet maybe onto the ground.
I'm exaggerating. Because it's still a long jump for marble floor. Marble floor. Okay.
Yeah.
And then he calls Donna, and then that's when the whole thing happens, and then I forgot what happened after that, but so all the three terrorists now are gone,
assumedly dead, and they then they have the plane lands, all safe and everything, really fast though.
Oh yeah, this was ridiculous. This plane like hard braked, and it took like 5 seconds to stop.
Yeah,
I
don't know. It doesn't seem right.
Physically impossible for a plane to stop that fast, I think. I don't know. And then, I wouldn't know. So, you remember the other line that the guy said, breeding a mule with a dog? That's the other thing I wrote down.
Oh, yeah. He was saying about how hard it was going to be to solve the problem, that it was going to be as hard as breeding a mule with a dog.
Like,
this was Adrian Paul's character, by the way. The same guy that said it's as useful as a pogo stick in quicksand.
Yep.
Which I do love that line, though. I'm going to start using that. I'm going to just start walking up to people that I find useless and being like, you're about as useful as a pogo stick in quicksand. I probably won't because I'm not that mean. But anyways, So the big anthrax racist guy.
The big anthrax.
He apologizes to the captain and says, you're what does he say, Matt? You liked this line.
Oh, because I predicted the line.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're right though. You're not like me. You're bitter." And like I knew exactly he was going to say.
And then they hug.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't even sound like that, but
yeah.
I'm making up. That's the other thing too. So he made this line in the beginning because everyone was getting pissed off about not landing. Mm-hmm. He's like, "I'm supposed to be at some
it's
game or whatever."
Well, yeah, it's at the Rose Bowl game.
And I got money on this.
It's like Texas versus UCLA at the Rose Bowl. And by the way, they go by the Rose Bowl at one point in the movie, and there's no cars in the parking lot.
It's like apparently no one
but the Rose Bowl's going on. Like, which is like
one of the
biggest football games of the year.
Yeah. And like the whole stadium is like pretty much empty. Like,
so I'm thinking racist dude bought all the tickets.
Maybe, yeah. And it's like he's like, I have money on this. Okay. But just because you have money on something doesn't mean you have to physically be there to win or lose.
If you win, you still are going to get your paid out.
I don't understand why he needed to be there to win. I don't know. And then maybe he thought that if he was physically there, he'd be able to encourage the team. I don't know. And,
give his team luck or something.
I don't know.
But
these sports guys, they got ritualistic.
Well, yeah.
And superstitious.
I mean, I've known guys that are like, fans of a football team or a basketball team, and they won't wash their underwear for a week and stuff. And I'm just like,
okay.
If you're on the team, I understand the superstition bullshit. Kind of. I don't even get it then. But it's kind of like the whole thing where people are like, we're gonna win this week, and I'm like, okay, so are you the point guard? What are you?
Right.
You're not on the fucking team.
We did this, yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So he apologizes and then hugs him and then all this kind of shit. And then what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and because there was like this like kind of like rich old lady that was like high class and like was always complaining about stuff like the lavatory is filthy or whatever type of thing. And then so like at the end there's like this weird scene. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. I don't know.
Well, there was a scene before that, before the weird scene at the end.
Okay.
There was a scene where they were about to die. They thought they were going to die, and she asks this young African American steward or flight attendant asks him to sit with her and hold her hand because she doesn't want to die alone.
Mm. Yeah.
So that sets up this scene.
Okay, I forgot about it.
Yeah.
And then that's the guy that blocked the punch from racist Texas guy. So anyway, so they get out the plane, and then he's like, "I'm gonna need a drink or whatever," and then and because she said something like, and he's like, "Well, I was like, well, I forgot what she said.
She says something like, "Okay,
I'll buy you a drink," or something.
It's like, she says something, yeah, I could go for a drink or something like that, and says something like, "Oh, are you buying me a drrink?"
Yeah,
to her, and then she's like, what'd she say?
Like, I'll buy you after what we've been through, or whatever, what we've been through, or what you did. I'll buy you the whole bar. And then, of course, what I said afterwards was not very good. I'm like, and then we're gonna fuck afterwards.
Yes,
I'm just saying because she had she had this look on her face.
Yeah,
like
she basically had this look like
very confident, like I'm gonna bang this.
like I'm about to be your sugar mama here.
Like I don't know.
It's like I'm gonna buy you a bar, and then we're gonna fuck.
And by buy you a bar, I don't mean I'm gonna buy you every drink in the bar. I'm actually gonna physically buy you a bar, property.
Yeah.
You're now a business owner. Like,
and then he's just like, I don't want that kind of responsibility. I'm joking. No,
that didn't happen.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so that's how basically. Then there was a surprise little scene at the end.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because Donna and Benji kiss or whatever.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, there's like this dude in like a really fancy looking hotel area or whatever. And he's
it looks like he's like in Monte Cristo or somewhere.
Yeah, he's somewhere.
Yeah.
And he's on his computer doing something, and then what's her name? I keep forgetting her name now.
Juliet.
Juliet shows up, and she's got an eye patch now,
a diamond-studded eye patch,
which she didn't even need because her eye wasn't actually popped out from being stabbed. Whatever. Okay. Anyway, so
maybe she still went blind. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah. So then she's like, "Are you so and so? Blah 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 or whatever." And then he's like, what? And it's like, you are going to make one of two choices in the next. That's what she said to Benji in the beginning.
Yeah.
So,
and then the credits roll.
So she survived getting stabbed in the eye, shot in the chest, and falling 20 feet onto a marble floor, hitting her head. She's apparently made of steel, because I think I would die if I fell head first on the marble floor.
I believe some of this stuff in like superhero movies and shit, but sometimes I'm like,
but she's not even a superhero.
No, that's what I'm saying. But this isn't a superhero movie.
Right. She's just some regular woman.
If this was Avengers Grimm, maybe I believe.
Yeah. So anyway, apparently there's a third person that has the code to Genesis 7.
Yeah.
And I guess that's supposed to build up to the sequel.
Maybe they're trying to make a sequel.
2.
Yeah.
God.
Maybe they will. I don't know.
Oh God.
But you see, I mean, and overall, this movie wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
No, it was actually enjoyable to watch a little bit.
Yeah. So, I don't know what. Let's take another break here, Matt, and then we'll come back with some Internet Movie Database reviews of this film, and that's it. Okay, we're gonna be right back. Cool. Hey, folks, this is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast that you're listening to right now, along with
Matthew Haas.
We just wanted to tell you about our great podcast called Super. It's called All Too Real. And on that show, what do we do, Matt?
We watch biopics, and then we talk about whether or not the movie matched up with the real story or not.
So it
was a lot more exciting than that, though.
Yeah. So we analyze the real story and the real story.
Get it?
Get it?
Real.
You know? Yeah, they're spelled differently, folks. You can guess which one I said which way. Anyways, so sometimes we have a guest, sometimes we don't. But we talk about great movies like Shattered Glass and The Social Network and Futile and Stupid Gesture, among others. Those are some of the ones that we've covered so far, and we're going to cover a lot more. So please subscribe on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you find your great, fun podcasts. And be sure to share it with your friends.
Do it.
And make sure you're not afraid to get all too real. Bye-bye. Okay, and we are back. Welcome
back.
Welcome back. Okay, anyways, this is...
Welcome back.
Carter? And welcome back, Cotter.
Cotter,
yeah. So, ready for some amazing reviews here from the Internet Movie Database here, Matt?
Sure.
Okay, this is for the Fast and the Fierce. Okay, this is a 10 out of 10 review. Despite all these review, this is TSTS Salesforce is the name of the person commenting here. I give it a 10. I can tell why people are so pissed, as this movie displayed white people as terrorists.
Who's pissed off at that?
I don't know. I'm not sure. That's why I find this funny. We are so used to see other group as terrorists. Kudos to the director and producer who tried to bring something different in the table.
Well, at least he's making a good point.
He is making a great point, but his grammar is not
It's
great.
usually the other side who thinks the other way that doesn't spell
I know.
Right, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah, and there's no capitalization in this either. It's like, great to watch. I would say all racists should take a lesson from this movie. Good points. I'll give him that.
Maybe he's
foreign.
Maybe he's not
even
English as a first language.
Okay, let's see here. We've got
See, when someone on my side, I'm gonna make excuses for
them.
But when it's the other side, I'm like, fuck you.
Here's another one with a different point of view. And this is from The Black Lizard.
Okay.
It's a 5 out of 10 star. Not 1 star terrible. Despite the 1-star reviews given by other reviewers, this film has entertainment value. The acting and CGI isn't terrible. I've certainly seen far worse. What this film does suffer from is liberalism.
Okay.
Like every recent film, which unfortunately come from the left more often than not, it's used as a propaganda platform with the same repetitive tropes, typical of leftist projectionism, Every white person who is on the screen at any time is, of course, racist, evil, greedy, corrupt, cowardly, suffering from anger problems. The Middle Eastern pilot and the black and gay Asian cabin crew are the only good guys. Pretty sure Adrian Paul is white. He was good.
So it's weird. He talks about leftist projectionism, but he himself is
projecting
because he's hyper focused on the race of every individual who's a good or bad guy.
This is ridiculous.
So if you're the one that's so focused on race, but yet you're saying that the left is focused on race, you're doing the very same thing that you're saying that the left is doing. Well,
but I'm pretty sure that Agent Coleman is a white dude. He might be foreign, but he's a white dude.
And Benji is white.
Benji's white.
I don't know about his girlfriend, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, she was kind of hard to pin down her nationality, unfortunately.
And that's the whole point of terrorism is that, like, you want to be low key. You don't want to be noticed. That's the reason why the Middle Eastern terrorists 9/11 weren't dressed as quote unquote stereotypical Muslims wearing like robes and stuff like that, because that would put eyes on them. So they're like, no, we're gonna wear quote unquote Western clothing so that we won't be as noticeable. So your argument is actually double wrong, because if you want to
they do talk about Benji here.
But if you want to be a terrorist now, being a white guy is actually the greatest thing ever, because everyone's gonna be like, oh, it's just some white dude, whatever, cool, and then you get to go blow up the whatever. I don't know.
Blow up the thing.
The thing, So
and it says, and of course, the only white person who isn't completely evil. Again, Adrian Paul is white, and so is the guy helping him, and so are other people in the fucking movie that are good.
Maybe he doesn't think Italian people are white. I don't know.
I guess
knowing this guy probably doesn't. So
and it's like, it says, and of course, the only white person who isn't completely evil is a cafe-dwelling hipster with a laptop, but even he is painted as having a gray moral code.
No, he wasn't.
And skipping out on his own honeymoon.
That's nothing to do with a gray moral code.
But my thing is right now, there's like, a cafe-dwelling hipster with a laptop. Like all people who have laptops and hang out in cafes that are hipsters are, and so hipsters are usually linked with the left, so that's why anyways,
he's got all the stereotypes of his
exactly.
opponent's side, because he's on the other side like a dumb right-wing moron, but whatever.
It says, if you can look past the inherently racist socialist propaganda obviously you can't, you fucking
it's
dolt.
Asylum, dude.
Obviously you can't, the black lizard. Anyways.
Yeah, why does he call himself the black lizard? He should be the white lizard, whatever.
Yeah, that's racist. Anyways, if you can look past the inherently racist social propaganda, then this is a good film for a lazy afternoon, reminiscent of the aeroplane emergency type films from the 80s.
Except those movies were also, oh my god.
Yeah.
See, this is the problem again with the right wing. I know we're not a political channel, but I can't help myself.
We can still
this is
do
the
it.
problem with the right wing, is that they don't understand, for the most part. Again, there's an exception that proves the rule, but for the most part, they don't understand how satire and sarcasm works.
Yeah.
They think that just insulting someone is sarcasm. It's not the same thing. Sarcasm can include insults, but that's not just, the two words aren't the same meaning, right? And so they don't understand even when they themselves are being punked. They're like, yeah, the emergency in the aeroplane. I'm like, those were like, that kind of humor is.
Well, no, he's not talking about airplane,
but he said emergency though. That was kind of like a.
Well,
cheesy.
He's talking about the emergency airplane movies, not movies called that. He's just talking about movies from the 80s.
Because there was a show called Emergency.
Yeah, that was like in the 70s.
And it was like a cheesy kind of.
Yeah,
that's what I thought he was talking.
No, he's talking about the airplanes with an emergency like turbulence and
whatever,
stuff like that.
I guess I misunderstood. Whatever.
And Airport 70, whatever. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, because that's not how it was written. It wasn't written as those were the titles. So, and this guy actually had decent grammar in his thing. So the next one is a 1 out of 10. You want to hear this one, Matt?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's by Play 2 by Play. Play 2 by Play. PLAYTOBYPLAY. 1 out of 10. What did I watch? There are no cars in this movie. I didn't see a single car. I saw the interior of a car and like half a fire truck, but nothing that took me for a bumpy ride, as the poster says. Airspeed should have been the title, which it was originally. This movie was useless like a pogo stick in quicksand. Grappling hooks, bald chicks, racism are all in this movie. So, got something against bald chicks? Oh.
Probably.
Oh, God. Okay, here's another 90-minute... another review. It's called 90 Minutes of My Life Wasted. It's a 1 out of 10.
Oh, come on.
By David Mantle. Truly a dire waste of time. 90 minutes of my life I shall not get back. I should have realized from reading the synopsis that it would be a very poor copy of Speed. Both the acting and the science effects... What are science effects? Leave a lot to be... I think he meant special effects. Leave a lot to be desired.
Science effects?
Yeah. Yes. Not sure if even watching this film whilst drunk, WHILST.
Dude, this movie was hilarious sober. I'm pretty sure it's even better.
Yeah. Whilst drunk would make any difference to the overall experience. Yes. And 7 out of 7 people found that helpful. Oh, boy.
Piece of shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's the best movie of all time. I'm saying it right now.
Matt.
Better than Endgame. Better than Endgame.
Highlander Endgame?
Both. Highlander Endgame's better than Endgame. And this is better than that. So
you know what that tells me?
What?
Any movie with Adrian Paul is
Yes.
better than a Marvel movie.
Yes.
Do you want to die on this?
It's better than Howard the Duck, and that was really a hard movie to top. So
yes.
By the way,
do you want to die on the Adrian Paul cross?
Yes.
Okay.
It reminded me, you know that show Legends of Tomorrow?
Yes.
You know the episode of George Lucas when they're trying to make him go back to film school or whatever?
Yeah.
And then they're like arguing over like which movie to watch first because Nate likes like the Indiana Jones movies and what's Ray likes
the Star Wars movies.
So they're arguing and then not Vixen, is it Vixen?
Yeah.
It's like the older version, the grandmother.
Yeah.
She's like, this one sounds like a cute one, something called Howard the Duck, and they're both like, no.
That was great.
Yeah.
That's a great show.
Yeah.
That show's so funny.
Yeah.
Unlike Howard the Duck. Anyways,
Yep.
So I think I got more laughs out of this movie than I did Howard the Duck, honestly.
Oh yeah, this movie's great actually.
Yeah.
Like you want to ask if I recommend this movie? Yeah, I definitely recommend
Yes.
watching this movie.
Yeah, I do too. I think we need to watch more Asylum films.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to this and you would like us to watch more Asylum films, please comment on our Facebook page or wherever and let us know that you want us to watch more Asylum films.
Right. And if you give us $1 million, you get to choose which movie we review. So.
Yes, only $1 million.
Yeah, only $1 million.
But you know what?
What?
If you don't give us the $1 million, we're going to kill your wife.
Whoa.
Wait, that's not how it works. We're not terrorists,
No,
right, Matt?
no,
I
we're
forgot.
not-
I'm
we're not
confused.
terrorists.
Okay, just making sure.
Because only white, Christian, heterosexual, cisgendered men are terrorists now. And since I'm not a Christian, therefore I can't be a terrorist according to the liberal, leftist, socialist agenda, communist agenda, whatever you want to call it.
I can't either.
So, we can't, according to that guy, since the liberal agenda controls the world now, we're not terrorists because we don't fit that. The oppressed.
Maybe that's
I think oppressed white men, the oppressed heterosexual white men.
Maybe that's just in media though. Maybe in the real. I think what they're saying is that in the real world,
where people spit tobacco in spittoons and scrape dog shit off their boots because they've been farming all day long, or I don't know. I'm just trying. I've got nothing against farmers. I'm just.
Were they farming in a
a
dog shit field?
You know how they.
I'm just joking.
They glorify the farm life more than people who actually farm themselves.
Oh, I know.
Like I'm not making fun of farmers. I'm making fun of people who.
It's like the whole country is.
It is.
That
it's like the people who actually live like that aren't even that obnoxious about it because guess what? They're actually living the life, not talking about it.
Yeah.
And whereas people who always glorify things that they're not, they talk about it so much.
Yeah.
Like
it's like the it's like the people that glorify gangster life when they're not even a gangster. and
Exactly.
stuff,
Like, I'm from the streets. Like, no, you're from a cul-de-sac. That's where you're from.
It's like, it always reminds me of the whole thing where John, I think it's John Peters told Kevin Smith when they were working on a Superman script, and it's like, you get me because you're from the streets, and Kevin's like, I'm not from the streets. I'm from a street.
You're from the streets. That reminded me. Do you remember there was that episode of the Dave Chappelle show where they did a wife swap sketch?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And the kid, the white kid's listening to 50 Cent, and Dave Chappelle's just walking by with a cigarette just hanging out of his mouth. They're like, what are you listening to? He's like, it's the new 50 Cent. I'm from the streets. He's like, so then he just takes them to a really rough neighborhood. He's like, all right, here's the streets. go sell crack. I think that's big here or whatever. And just drives off.
Yes. Oh, great. I miss that show.
Yeah,
anyways, so yeah, I think I would recommend this movie too, though. I found it enjoyable in the sense that it was bad, but also kind of slightly unpredictable in certain points, which was kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because at one point I think I thought everybody was a terrorist.
You didn't know who to even.
And then at one point I thought nobody was a terrorist.
Right.
Which is weird.
I thought that Kurt was at first.
I pretty much thought he was from the beginning.
He was too helpful.
But
I didn't see Alexis.
Yeah.
Because Alexis played it really good.
If I wrote this, I would have made Donna the terrorist.
Ooh. Wait, she's got threatened to kill her. What?
I would have made it that she was she married Benji for the whole fact of trying to get this, and then make him think he's going to kill his wife, but she was basically, it was a whole long con.
That's a better.
Yeah, I think that would have been a better idea. That's what I would have done.
Maybe you should do that for part 2.
Yes.
Make it about what did I just do here with my phone? Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I ruined something.
Okay, yeah. I think that's what I would do with the sequel, or if I were to write this movie, that's what I would have done with this movie. I would have made Donna the freaking. Yeah. But you got to have the happy kiss at the end.
Yeah.
You know what I would have done? I would have not killed JC and had him and the pilot make out at the end.
Okay, well.
But then I'm a liberal.
That's right, because that of course just plays right into the liberal agenda. See, part of the liberal agenda is that everything is reversed now. So if you're homosexual, that's great. You're doing God's work. But if you're heterosexual, you're just close next to Satan himself right now. See, everything's backwards now in my mind, because I look at the whole world as a giant conspiracy, and I'm drunk right now. Woohoo! Anyway.
So, folks, be sure to subscribe to our show, like us on Facebook and all that stuff.
You could complain about me too, because I'm the wild card here.
Oh no, it's fine. You're the Charlie of this group. You're the wild card of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh God,
you're the Charlie. He's the wild card.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's why when I think of wild card, I think of him. So yeah. No, you're fine, Matt, because I think we're all thinking the same things.
Yeah.
I think most of society right now is thinking that there are these thoughts that people just don't want to admit to the fact that they're fucking racists.
Yep.
And so they try to twist it around to be that, it's the liberal media trying to change everything, and the liberal media wants to get me and take away my white rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to make me divorce my white wife. They're going to either force me to get married to, black, we can't say that word anymore, a black woman or a white husband. Can't be, so I got to make a choice, basically.
Maybe an Asian husband. I don't know.
Who knows? So, that's new society. Just get prepared, get ready for it. We can't do nothing about it. We voted for Trump. We thought he was going to make us on top again, but he's not doing much. So,
and if you'd like to hear more of this podcast, which we're going to call Mark and Matt Talk Like This, and it's going to be just let us know, and make sure you subscribe. Also, we do have some cool T-shirts now on our TeePublic, which I'll link below in the description of this episode. You can get some nice little Direct from Hell shirts and different things like that we designed recently, as well as some Cullen Park shirts and just some All Too Real 2 shirts and shirts for our other podcasts.
Shirts for every occasion.
Yes. There won't be any shirts that say white pride or anything like that. Just letting you know.
No. Maybe liberal agenda.
Maybe we should make that a
and
frickin'...
spell it with a J instead of a E.
We should.
And you put like a little Star of David above the J because, like, for them, they, it's pretty much a shorthand for Jewish. They're gonna be like, the liberals, wink, wink. New York City, bagels, pastrami, sandwich. You know what I'm getting at.
If you would like that, folks, please don't let us know because we're not going to do that.
No, we're not going to.
No, we're not going to do that.
We're not going to put a Star of David over.
No, we're not.
The letter J.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
We're not going to do.
We're not. I don't know if you heard me, but we're not.
We're not doing it.
So anyways, this has been fun.
Yes.
Yeah, be sure to go out and see Fast and Fierce. Fast and the Fierce,
yes.
I'm sorry. From the Asylum. And like I said, if you want us to do more Asylum flicks, please let us know. We promise to find all of the liberal agenda within those films. All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.